Welcome back to the New England Nation Patriots Wrap. Andy Gresh here to break it down. Gresh, you were there in person last night. Tough pill to swallow for the Patriots yet again in a 2-point loss. Let's first start with the decision to kick the field goal late in the game. We heard Bill Belichick talk about it this morning. He said, we had only converted 2 third downs up until that point, but the offense had been rolling then. Which side do you side with?
Well, I think that at the end of the game, you've got to trust your quarterback. You got to trust your offense at some point. And I would have preferred that they go for it there on that 4th down, try to keep it going and get into a better field goal position. Now, that said, Nick Folk, it wasn't like it wasn't enough boom on the kick. And let's notice this, that was towards where they put the new scoreboard or the big board at that end of the stadium, and they pretty much have closed all the wind down. So I found it interesting that Bill Belichick and crew chose to kick that into that area where there is that big board now, and the wind isn't as likely to mess up that kick. But that said, I would rather have seen them go for it, but the fact that they were even in the position to choose and that they could win the game is amazing unto itself, given all the expectations we had going into last night.
What about the other 4th and short? Late first half, Matt Judon gets the big sack. The offense comes back on the field after scoring their first touchdown. Right there, the Patriots punt the ball. Tom Brady still comes down and gets points.
Right.
At that point, you could have gone for the jugular, at least another 3 points. You would have been up a touchdown at the half, knowing the Bucs were getting the ball out of the second half.
Inconsequential, in my opinion. I don't think that was that big a decision at all. And again, given what you could have rolled out on the 4th down later in the game, I was all for them handling it the way they did. I just would have liked to have seen more aggressiveness towards the end. You still had another 30 minutes of football to play. So to me, when you get into those first half decisions, if we're going all the way back to the first half, then there's a hell of a lot happened in the second half that becomes inconsequential.
All righty. Mac Jones observations, 31 of 40, 19 consecutive completions, with an offensive line and running attack that was pretty much next to nothing.
How about all of us in the stadium who had no idea that there was a 19-in-a-row streak that Mac Jones went on? It's not like they announced it in the stadium or anything like that. We got a text saying, oh, Mac's almost a 20 in a row. And it's like, what? Because when you're watching the game, at least in stadium, you didn't even think about it. I thought he was great, Maury. There's one play where the extra blitzer's bearing down on him, and all he does is slide in the pocket, give himself room to throw. His vision is good in the pocket. We know he's tough. That's why he gets blasted in the chops all the time. He can get better at getting the ball out quicker, but he can also get some better blocking as well around him to help him get the ball out quicker. I thought Mac gave you the reason or the chance to be able to win the game last night offensively.
Even in his first touchdown pass to Hunter Henry, a great job surveying the field, going from right to left, going through all of his reads, and then finding Henry with pressure on him. Defensively now, this is 3 of 4 games that the defense has held opponents to less than 20 points. Bucs only scored 19. Sure, no Rob Gronkowski.
Right.
But, I mean, that's definitely a positive point, you take out of this game.
I completely agree. And when you look at this defense, you have to ask yourself, does the points per game total, which, as you mentioned, is under 20 a game, does that indicate that this group is good to very good? And I'm not quite there just yet because I want to see stops at the end of games. We saw with New Orleans, get a stop 21-13, got a chance to get the ball back offensively. We know what happened there. And then at Miami at the end of the very first game of the season. But that said, that was a great effort last night. Enough pass rush to be able to deal with Brady. Belichick running the combo coverages. It's really interesting. I think you could say for Bill Belichick last night was a win, but Tom Brady ended up the winner. So Bill's coaching showed the greatness once again, but Brady's the winner. So in the end, a lot of people will be like, well, of course the right guy won. But I thought they were both as good as they can be last night, and Belichick was a wizard with the defense.